Hey everybody, it is actually beginning to rain, although more like spit. No real heavy raindrops, certainly not enough to take my equipment in and run screaming, rain, it's raining. Anyway, so I'm going to continue. This is another Shillings holly in another just absolutely cool pot. I love this pot, just absolutely gorgeous. The glaze and the speckle kind of reminds me of a bird egg. And this is a kind of an experimental tree that I allowed to get, not allowed to get real tall, but as it was um, maturing, I decided to keep it tall. And I wanted a tree that wasn't really bunjin, but something with a lot more height and thinner trunk. And I remember when I first did this tree, the first video I did where I showed this tree, I know somebody said, "Oh, you missed the opportunity because you see these scars right here. There's 1, 2, 3 scars right here where I took branches off," and they said, "You missed the opportunity to create a really nice little tree." And I had to agree with them. But I have so many already, like this guy, the next one I'm going to do. Okay? I mean, if you're watching these videos, because I'm putting out rapid fire Ilex Shillings videos, there's a tree, really nice, dense, full, and a lot of them are like that. So this one I decided to try something different. Even though, I mean, I could still do it because Shillings pop like crazy. I could take this guy and chop it to like right there and build a really cool little tree. Probably take 2 or 3 extra years, but it could be done. But I decided that I wanted to try something a little bit different. So we've got some pretty decent branching up in here, although once again it's a little busy. So like this branch right here is actually coming from the first main branch. So we're going to shorten it almost to nothing. Then we have this growth here, which I suppose could be a sacrifice branch because this is very stovepipe. I define a stovepipe as a branch or a trunk that's as thick way up here as it is down here. No taper. And even though this is a more feminine... Ooh, I'm going to sneeze. Or am I? Am I going to sneeze? Maybe not. Okay. I still think I want a little bit of taper. But we've got this growth right here coming from the very base. And I definitely want to get rid of that because that just is going to make more of a lump there. And so as a sacrifice branch, I think I'll just leave this guy and just let it take off. I think I'm going to chop it like that so that it all goes that way. And then we have this little branch right here, which you also don't need because the first main branch is right there. And then I'm thinking possibly of giving it something like that where come out and then down and then back out. And once again, Shillings is tricky stuff to wire. But something like that I think would be very cool. And then a lot of the other branches will need to follow that same pattern to give it some continuity. Okay. Then we have a lot of growth back here. I hope I'm not getting in the way. A lot of growth back here. I think I may, because I'm looking for like a triangle. And then I think I like the apex up in here. Just shorten this stuff up. We've got a branch going straight up. There's one that's half dead. And another little tiny piece that we don't need. So yeah, there we go. Ignore him. Possibly bring this guy down. Or maybe here. You could even, wire the apex so it's a little bit more like that. But I'm kind of liking this tree. So if we look, this guy here is not in perfect position either. But if we look like this and bring this guy down into here and then straight like that, that's kind of like what I'm looking for. And this tree will get another repotting like everybody else. And I'm sure it's just about as ready to be repotted as everybody else too. And I mean, at some point when you do the repotting, you can rip it out of the pot, because you're going to do the procedure of taking away the soil and putting it and pruning the roots. But right now I don't want to do that. Just the fact that it's a little difficult to pull it out of the pot means that it's probably rooted into the screens here. But I like this tree. I love my little guys too, but I think this tree could be a very interesting specimen. Nope, I've got one more thing I want to do here, and that is this growth here that's shooting straight up. I want to take it out. There we go. And there could be a little bit of manipulation of the apex to kind of come up like that. And actually I'm going to twist it if I do it too. Twist it around like that. And have, you know, this branch out here, whichever branch I choose for branch number 2, is also probably going to end up out here. And it should, in theory, make the same kind of sweep if I choose to do it like this. This one should have a similar kind of feel to it, where it comes out and then down and then over. But that's for the future. Right now I just wanted to get it back into shape, and I guess I would give this guy just a little trim. There, done. So thank you for watching. Whether you agree with me doing this or not, if you like this video, please. And I certainly never want to offend anybody, but sometimes if you've been doing bonsai for a long time, you kind of get, you know, there's nothing wrong with being a little adventurous and maybe taking some trees and styling them just a little bit differently than the typical, you know, what convention says. So this is certainly one of those, because it's an ilex Shillings, and most of them grow like that, which will be the next video I do. But that's the end of this one. So if you like this video, please, you know, I guess I should just get one of those animations that says like, subscribe, notification bell. You know, they have the little hand going dink, dink, dink. But until then, I guess I don't have to say it because I just did, right? Thanks for watching.